But you know, Kay, I've never had any luck with that. The Lord always changes it. And just as He did this time. And you know, as I was sitting at home this afternoon and just kind of sitting there meditating with the Lord, and began to show me what He wanted me to preach on. I thought to myself, Lord, that's not my job. That's the pastor's job to preach stuff like that. And I thought, and then when Brother Joe started talking about what he started talking about the end times, I thought, Lord, I'm not where You want me to be.
Right.
And you know, Brother Joe, as I began looking around, we see that our time is drawing nigh. You know, a lot of people will tell you the same thing, but Brother Joe, it's like that they say it, but they don't want to believe it themselves, if you understand what I'm saying. And, you know, a lot of us, sometimes we get ourselves in a condition that I call it in denial. And Brother Joe, there's a lot of Christians that way right now. They want to be in denial at the things that they see going on around us. But honey, I'm telling you what, if you open this up, I believe everything that we're seeing going on is lining up with the Word as to what
Bless the Lord.
He said was going to happen. But you know, I thought, so many Christians are giving in, Brother Joe. They're giving in to the ways of the world.
Yes, they are, brother.
Honey, I tell you what, now is no time to give in to the ways of the world.
No.
Honey, I thought as I seen this woman on the news down in Kentucky that, honey, I tell you what, she denied those people their marriage license, and honey, I would have too. But honey, I tell you what, she stood firm. They told her she was going to jail. She still stood firm. And honey, I tell you what, I believe she'll stand firm all the way. Because honey, you know, Brother Joe, they can lock me up, they can throw away the key. But honey, I believe the Bible teaches us that old Paul and Silas, when they locked them up and threw away the key, honey, I tell you what, I believe the Bible teaches us that one sang and one prayed. Honey, I believe that the ground began to quake and the cell was unlocked. But you know, honey, I tell you what, Brother Joe, what the Lord showed me that I needed to get on tonight, honey, I tell you, over in the book of Revelations, I think it's in the 7th chapter, Brother Joe.
Come on.
God began to speak to John the Revelator, Brother Joe, and showed him this vision. I want to get it right. I want to read it to you tonight. If you got your Bibles, go over to the 7th chapter of Revelations and about the 13th verse. One of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence came they? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes, and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Therefore are they before the throne of God, and serve Him day and night in His temple. And He that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat. For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them into living fountains of water, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. I tell you what, Brother Joe, as I read this, you know, honey, they can do what they want to us down here, honey, but you know, they've got their day coming, Brother Joe. Honey, because I believe there's a judgment coming upon them. Honey, that they're not going to see the light like we see it, honey. Honey, you know, they can do whatever they want to do. Honey, they can call us bloodthirsty Christians, whatever they want to call us. But honey, one of these days, they're going to call us gone. I talked about that God Himself would wipe away our tears. Hey, I tell you what, I'm about to get excited here. Hey, I tell you, you know, Brother Joe, as you look around, people want to be in denial that this world is coming to an end. But honey, I'm telling you what, You know, honey, I tell you what, we look at our home sometimes as being a place that we can come home and get comfortable. We look at our church as being a place we can come and worship the Lord. But honey, you know, I believe when God spoke to Moses out of that burning bush, He told him, He said, Moses, take off your shoes, for you are on holy ground. I'm telling you what, when He said He was on holy ground, I believe that He was in a heavenly place. I believe, Brother Joe, I tell you what, that we can get in some heavenly places down here sometimes. But honey, when we get over there, we're going to be in a heavenly place.
Yeah.
And we're going to be there forevermore. And we're going to be in a place where He said He would wipe away the tears. I believe in another place there, it said that we would be His people and He would be our God. And I'll tell you, that's something to get excited about tonight.
Yes, it is. Come on, brother.
See, honey, some people's worried about this. Some people's worried about this tribulation stuff, Brother Joe. But honey, I'm telling you what, I'm not worried about it. Honey, you know, they say some people's what they call pre-tribbies, some are after tribbies, and all this stuff. But honey, I tell you what, I believe if you look in the book of Revelations, Brother Joe, that the church is not mentioned after the 4th chapter. And I believe God said that He would not, that His children was not appointed unto His wrath. Brother Joe, you know, church, here's something to get excited about. You know, honey, I tell you, I believe the Bible said it would be the same as it was in the days of Noah when he comes back. But honey, here's something to think about tonight. God made sure that Noah and his family was in that ark and the door was shut before it began to rain. Do you realize that Noah and his family was a form of the church?
Blessing on earth.
Yes, they were.
You know, when God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, He made sure Lot and his family was out of the city before He began to rain down the fire and the brimstone. They were out. They were safe. I'm telling you, we're going to be out of here before the Great Tribulation starts. Honey, I'm telling you right now, we ain't got nothing to worry about, church. The only thing we need to worry about, we don't need to worry about all this stuff that's going on out here. We need to worry about what's going on right here. We need to make sure everything's all right with the Lord. Honey, I tell you, Brother Joe was talking about Brother Barnell a while ago being in so much pain. Honey, I tell you, you want to talk about somebody that knew they was right with the Lord. Honey, I used to help take care of an old man. Actually, he was a cousin of mine, but he was in the Vietnam War, and he had this problem. He'd sit and shake just like this all the time, and he was in pain all the time. And honey, I tell you what, I'd go sit with him in the mornings until somebody else could get there before I went to school. Honey, he would sit there and pray and beg God to take him on out of this world. Now, honey, I'm telling you what, you've got to know without a shadow of a doubt that you're ready to go. If you're begging the Lord to take you on. No doubt in my mind, he knew that he was ready to go. That's the same condition we need to be in tonight. You know, Kay, I've talked to a lot of people over the years. I've talked to them and I've had them tell me, oh, I think I'm all right. I went and prayed. I got baptized. But getting them to tell you that they know everything's all right is another story. Well, see, honey, I'll tell you what, when I got saved, Brother Joe, there wasn't no doubt in my mind. Because there was a change that took place. There was a change there. And I'll tell you, you want to know what that change is? I began to hate the things I used to love. And I began to love the things I hated. You know, Brother Joe, I believe the Bible says to confess your sins to one another. And I'll tell you what, I used to run from my cousin because he was the pastor of the church. I would run every time I seen him. I used to go to my mom's and park my truck out back so he couldn't see it because I know he was going to stop and talk to me. Well, you know what? When I got saved, he was the first one to do it. Honey, I'll tell you right now. This is a no-so salvation. If we don't know, we need to be doing something about it. And I don't know why God gave me this way. But honey, I'll tell you what God's showing me is there's some people that worries about everything going on and don't worry about their salvation.
Right.
In other words, no, I believe it. I guess I'm going to have to use this thing. I believe it's like this. The Bible says that they'll string the net.
Gagging the net.
Swallow the camel. Straighten the net. Swallow the camel and gagging the net. But honey, I'm telling you right now, I've seen people that worried about praying over their food when it come dinner time, but they never confessed being saved.
Yeah.
My mom was one of them. She asked me one time if I'd say a blessing over the food. I said, you think that's going to save it? Honey, I'm telling you right now. People worry about things that they shouldn't worry about. You know, Brother Joe, I thought one time I was right where God wanted me to be. And right about the time I thought I was where He wanted me to be, He come along and had something else. Showed me different. See, because I thought, well, honey, I'll tell you what, I suffered. I went through so many things, Brother Joe. Every time you turned around, something else was going on. But honey, I'm telling you what, I knew the Lord was dealing with me. I just couldn't admit it. I was in denial. I knew the Lord was dealing with me. I knew He had a greater work for me. I knew He had something He wanted me to do. Well, honey, I'm telling you what, you ever seen an airplane when it hits turbulence? That's the way I was. I was flying along and hit turbulence. Well, it shook me all over the place, but honey, I'm telling you what, I still didn't want to listen to the Lord. I still just did not want to listen to Him. But you know what it took? You know, I tell you, I began to think, Lord, if I would be called out of this world in this condition, not doing what you want me to do, not being where you want me to be, I'm the same as a lost man. Because I believe that the Bible says that obedience is better than sacrifice. And it also says, to him that knows to doeth good and doeth it not, it is sin. Now, honey, I'm telling you what, I was a man most miserable. I was living in sin. And I'm not saying I was out here fooling around doing everything here and going, but I was disobedient to God. And honey, I tell you what, no matter how you look at it, it's sin. Then, Brother Joe, I got out of that, and I got to a point where I worried about everything. Everything I seen going on, I worried about. To the point to where I couldn't even eat sometimes. I just stayed upset all the time. God revealed to me over and over the scripture where it says not to take no thought for tomorrow. In doing so, you can't have one cubit of stature to yourself. God began to show me, son, I can't work for you because you're not focusing on me. You're focusing on everything else. You see, that's why God gave me this message tonight. Because there's somebody here that's focusing on everything that's going on. And they can't focus on the Lord. And what God wants you to do tonight is focus on Him and give Him the praise.
Amen.
I'm telling you what. Because if we've got our mind on everything out there, we can't give God true praise. He wants us to praise Him in spirit and in truth. How can we be in the spirit if our mind's not on Him? I've often said Walmart's not the only saving place. You get a lot of Christians comes to church on Sunday. Their mind is on Walmart, see how much money they can save. Or their mind will be on the football game after church when they get home. I'll tell you what, your mind has got to be on God. I'll tell you what, that's why God did this to me. He don't want people to worry about the tribulation. He don't want people to worry about the storms that's going on. He wants them to just focus on Him and give Him the praise. And honey, when you take your shoes off because you're on holy ground, it don't just mean them shoes like them right there. It means take your cares off and leave them outside the door. And I'm telling you, church, if you don't believe this, you try it sometime and see how much more you get blessed and see how much more the Lord does for you. Now, honey, I'm telling you what, for a long time, when you get in these experiences and when you walk through these dry spells, you'll understand what this old boy's saying to you. So, I'll tell you.
Bless Him, Lord.
Now, I'll tell you what, God knows I've had my share of things to worry about. I'll tell you, when my wife was just about 6 or 7 months pregnant, she had to go in for surgery on her stomach and have them ovarian cysts removed while she was pregnant. Honey, you're talking about something to worry about. But you know what? Brother Joe, God had it in His hands. She had that surgery. The baby was all right. He's upstairs right now. I'll tell you what, Brother Joe, I've had some pretty good scares in my lifetime. But honey, I'll tell you what, I don't guess I was ever as scared as I was one morning. We was loading the tractor up to go do some mowing. Honey, I thought I was going up on a dovetail trailer, and I thought I just leveled off enough to where that I could just let the clutch out and we was going to lock it down with chains. Well, honey, when I let the clutch, shoved the clutch in, it started to roll backwards, and I let the clutch back out real quick, just an automatic reflex, and almost flipped this thing off the trailer. But honey, here's the thing. I was lost at that time. Honey, I tell you what, I began to see my life flash before me. And if I had lost my life right then and there, honey, I tell you what, I would have died and went to hell. But you know what? It set me to thinking, Lord, I need to be saved. But honey, I tell you what, there's a lot of other times, Brother Joe, that God has had to reach down and wake me up because I get in a comfortable position. You get in a church sometimes and you get in a comfort zone. And God will take you out of that comfort zone because He wants you to do more. When you get in a comfort zone, God will wake you up because He wants us to stay on fire all the time. Not just sometimes. He wants us to stay on fire all the time. You ever get something, go out and buy something and you get bored with it? Well, honey, I tell you what, our salvation's the same way. People get bored with it sometimes, I do believe. But honey, when you get in that condition, it's time to be down on your knees finding out why. Because honey, I'll tell you what, I've never seen no stopping place. I've never seen no place that I got bored. Honey, I tell you what, my Christian life's always been full of excitement. Honey, I'll tell you, God's always had more for me than what I expected. And I don't just mean financially. God has always blessed me financially. But honey, I'm telling you what, I'm talking about spiritually. Honey, I tell you, if you're not feeling spiritually blessed, you need to find out why. Honey, because I'll tell you, Brother Joe, I've been in conditions where I didn't feel like the Lord was with me anymore. I often called it as my bless for being broke. I felt like I was walking through a dry spell. But honey, you know what? The Lord come right on the scene and began to show you. If you get down and you get serious with the Lord and you ask Him to show you where you're messing up, honey, He will. But you might not want to ask that question because, honey, I tell you what, sometimes He'll jerk the covers clean off of you and expose things that you didn't expect that was in your life that you needed to straighten up. Honey, I tell you what, when God asks for something, you better give it to Him. Honey, because He gave us His only begotten Son that we could have life and have it more abundantly. Brother Joe, I'm telling you what, when you ask God to show you what you need to change in your life, you better be ready to change.
Amen.
Yeah.
You better be ready to change. Honey, I'm telling you right now, He will surely show you. When you ask Him what needs to straighten up in your life, you better be ready to straighten up. Honey, I'm here to tell you. And you know, Brother Joe, I used to say this all the time. I'd get down and pray, and I'd just about beg God. Say, Lord, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to see somebody saved. But you know what? God stopped me in the middle of my tracks one day. I was praying for my brother. I said, Lord, I want to see him saved worse than anything. And I still do. And I said, Lord, whatever it takes to bring him in. God stops me right dead in my tracks and said, what if it takes the death of your mother to bring him in? What if it takes the death of your father to bring him in? Now, honey, I'm telling you what, when God spoke to me in that way, Brother Joe, I thought, am I ready for whatever it takes? Am I ready for that? Now, honey, I'm telling you, we need to be careful how we ask God things sometimes. Because whatever it takes might be something we don't want to see right away. But, you know, Brother Joe, like I said at the beginning, I said I didn't know why God was leading me into this message. And honey, if you wonder what I was talking about, I felt it needed to be preached by the pastor. Revelations is a book that I feel needs to be preached by the pastor, Brother Joe. And anytime I'm ever there, honey, you have to know this, that God has led me there. But honey, you know, Brother Joe, when I look so forward to it, he said He would be our God, and we would be His people.
Amen.
He said He would wipe away the tears from our eyes.
Yes.
Honey, you know, we shed a lot of tears down here. But honey, I'm telling you, one day after a while, God's going to wipe them all away.
Amen. Amen.
And honey, if we will just stay true to His Word, He's going to take us out of this whole wicked world. Because it is getting worse every day. And honey, He don't want to see us have to go through all this stuff. And He's going to take us out of it. But, you know, About halfway through, I figured out like God wanted me to preach that because somebody was worrying too much about the things that's going on. And honey, what I want to say, to make a long story short, church, we need to get our minds on God and not focus on this world. This world's going to melt away with a fervent heat.
Amen.
The only thing that's going to stand is the Word of God. Honey, I love the Lord, and I'm going to turn it back over to Brother Joe.